Welcome. Thank you for agreeing to talk to us. Over the last week, all of Barbados, it would seem, has been talking about you, and in particular, though, your son, Jahan. Jahan, we call him, right? Call him. How do you pronounce his name? Call him Jahan.
Jahan.
Jahan. Jahan. 6 years old, and I want to say here on camera, condolences. It's really been heart wrenching to hear that he's passed away. Yeah, and I know as a mother that this cannot be an easy time for you. Yeah. As you sit here, I can see that you're struggling to deal with it. But tell us your story. Tell us about this little boy that we've heard about. Now he's dead. What kind of little child was he?
Jahan was cheerful, peaceful, always to play with himself. Never to give me trouble.
Yeah? Cheerful?
Yeah.
What were Sunday things that he liked to do?
He used to go to church every Sunday. He used to get up in the morning. He used to take him to church every Sunday. Every morning he would wake me up at 6 o'clock every morning. He would get up. He would come with the bedroom door. He would say, "Good morning, Mommy. It's time for school. It's time to go to church."
What church y'all would go to?
The one in Jackson.
Okay.
Methodist Church in
Methodist
Jackson.
Church. So every Sunday he
Every
wanted to go to
Sunday
church?
he would get up in the morning. Because every day he's got up at 6 o'clock. Every Sunday he would get up. He would say, "Mommy, it's time for church. You got to go to church."
And he's your only child?
Only son.
Only child too?
Yeah.
Okay. So, apart from going to church, so he would go to church on Sundays, and of course he was at school at Lawrence Tigate, was right?
Yeah, Lawrence Tigate.
So, what was his life like? Just tell us about, on a day-to-day basis. He was cheerful, you were saying?
Cheerful.
Yeah.
He used to always play with himself. He used to come home and show you different things, different things he do at school, different things he learned. He could come home and he could tell you everything that the teacher I said, everything he do at school. He could come home and say.
So he was talkative. He
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
And he didn't hide anything from you.
Correct. He didn't hide nothing from me. He would come home and say, if he go to the shop, he would come and say, "Mommy, I went to the shop, I buy an apple. Look at the apple here, I buy one for you." He never hide nothing. He don't hide nothing from me.
And he liked going to school as much as he liked going to church?
Yes, he went to the school.
What was his favorite things at school? Like he was into, he was
He
learning well?
Yeah, he used to like to play, like math, like to do math, deal with math. Because he would come home and he would say, "My teacher, show me how to count. My teacher, show me how to do this, how to do that."
So he was like a regular 6-year-old though,
Yeah.
very cheerful. And he watched television a lot,
Yeah, he liked TV.
And he had a lot of friends in the neighborhood. Like you play outside, or you
No,
didn't?
because he didn't like to really go outside to play with children. He's a person he play with himself. Because they buy some blocks, so he would like to build the blocks. And everything he builds for me, he would come and say, "Mommy, this is a house for me and you. This is whatever."
A house for you, so he actually was
He was
telling you what he wanted
and telling
for
me
you.
that he had built a shop for me and different things. He used to do.
So there wasn't anything that would suggest to you that he was an unhappy child, no? And what about your relationship with him? So he spoke to you openly, you didn't chastise him a lot, like
Because he never used to give no trouble, so he had no reason to chastise him.
Okay. And how did his teachers, like at school, what was the relationship with him and his teachers?
That's the thing. His teacher, Mr. Cadogan, he always liked him because sometimes he even gave him a book, a Bible with Bible stories for me to read, and he always liked him.
What about, he would write, like, you said he play a lot by himself. What was his favorite kind of game he likes to play when he's by himself?
I just say he just like to build blocks.
He wasn't into technology? He didn't have...
No.
Okay. And what about weekends? He would still be in house most of the time too, so he never really was one who go outside?
Yeah, he don't really like to rumble.
Okay. Does he get that from you? Because you don't seem like a person who's out a lot.
Mix, right? I don't mix.
Okay. Sandra, I mean, it's kind of like jumping into, the issues, but as I said at the outset of this interview, we were all saddened to hear of Jahan's death. Yeah? First of all, walk us through that. How did this come about? How did he manage to die? Give us your story.
It was just he wasn't feeling well from Saturday. He was vomiting. Cause when he got home, he wasn't at home. So he came home. He's telling me, well, my tummy is hurting me. So I gave him some sugar water. And he bring it up. I slept with him that whole night. When he got in the morning, I give him some breakfast again. He vomit again. We didn't turn around and say, Mama, I feeling a little better. My tummy feeling a little better. So throughout the day, was just like monitoring or whatever. So I give him some food. He ate. He usually eat all the food, but he eat half. He said, well, I ain't want no more, I just want rest.
We ate that day. What was that?
Rice. He said, I just want rest. So I tell him, what, I ain't finished preparing the meat. But when I finish, I will come and they don't check on you. So when I went back and check on him, I see he was gasping for breath. So I called the ambulance right away. The ambulance got there in less about 10 minutes. Examine him, saying yes, he was wheezing, and carried to the hospital. I was at the hospital from since 12:30 that Sunday afternoon, straight to the Monday morning when he passed.
So what did the doctors tell you?
Because the doctor was asking me, was telling me actually, they don't know what caused the asthma attack. That's where they were running tests to find out what caused it, what would make him wheeze. I told him he was vomiting. They want to know why he was vomiting, what would cause the vomiting.
Did he have asthma attacks regularly?
Yeah, he had asthma attacks, but not regularly, or not like this one. So that's why I was so concerned.
People say that you're saying it was, so from your estimation and from what the health authorities are saying, you think he died following an asthma attack. Yeah?
Yeah.
There wasn't anything else happening between Saturday or even before? Because when you said you came in on Saturday, you came from where? From work?
Yeah.
Where do you work, if you don't mind me asking?
At Popular.
Popular. So you're a cashier? Okay. So you came in from work about what time?
5:30.
5:30 in the evening. And you said from that time was when he started to, you saw him?
When I saw him, and he was vomiting.
But you didn't have any indication that anything except an upset stomach was going on there?
Yeah, because...
So there weren't any marks on his skin at that point in time? Any signs to tell you that anything else was going on wrong?
But he always had the mark in his face from at school.
What mark is that? Because I don't know if you have to tell me.
By his eye.
He has a mark by his eye. He had a mark by his eye. How did he get that?
At school. He got in a fight at school. I went to the school the day after. When I heard about this, when I came home the night time I heard about it, I went to the school the day after. I spoke to the guard, I spoke to the principal and his farm teacher about this fight.
So this was recent? How recent was this situation that he got this cut on his eye?
You know, make sure the exact date.
But this was weeks ago? Or
right,
yeah. This was weeks ago?
Yeah.
But wasn't that strange? Because you said he's a quiet child. He doesn't usually get into anything.
Right.
What did he tell you was the reason why he was in a fight?
Because he said that, because he was telling me that he and the student was playing, and then they started to fight. Student pushed him on the door. When I went at the school, spoke to the principal. The principal said the student ain't come to school the next day. I told her to call back. She didn't even make an effort to call back to say, well, we resolved the problem or whatever.
And so that was the only mark that you saw on his skin, on the day when he was dying?
Correct.
Explain to us then these pictures that are circulating the internet that are showing Jahan with swollen face. People are talking about swollen, all over him basically swollen. Explain that to us. Where did that come from? And even your mother is saying that this is the case. Tell us about that story.
Well, some of those pictures are pictures that my mother took.
But she took
from
when?
From every science. I have proof of medical records that I took my son to the doctor with a sting.
And this was how long ago?
This was April. And I got proof of the date, the certificate and everything.
All right, show us now. So this was back in April?
April, when she took pictures, and then she's posting them now, making people think that this is how he went.
Oh, so these bruises that we're seeing on him And these pictures that are circulating are
Are not
from
from
when he was at the point of dying.
Okay.
Okay, yeah?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. And they're not an indication either that he was going through a prolonged period of any kind of abuse.
Right.
No? Now I want you to tell me that right. You're saying right. But I
Wait,
wanna-
this is the certificate.
Right. Okay, so it says here that, dear patient, I've examined you, and in my opinion, you are suffering from allergic reaction to insect. What's this? What's that word? To insects.
Bite, insect bite.
Okay, insect bites. To rule out something trauma. But it says reaction to insect bites, yeah? Okay. And you return fit for school. This is coming from primary care physician Len Brathwaite at the Goodwill Clinic.
All right.
Okay.
Look how they did.
And this was since, this is 2009 though?
No, look.
Or date 2015, let's say the date of birth, 2015-04-22. So this was since the 22nd of April. Okay. So and this is when we saw him with the swollen face.
Right.
Okay. All right. So how did your mother get access to those pictures though?
Because the school, when they saw him with it, I rubbed something on it. The school saw it, but the principal, she didn't like how it looked, but she called me. She didn't get through to me. So she called my mother. So my mother took my son down by the child care board. So that is how I had it end up. My sister now called me and told me that it was at the child care board. So I went to the child care board. Then the lady told me, like, what I need to do is to take him to the doctor and bring him back. I take him to the doctor. He got examined. He got medication and everything. I take him back.
Okay. So you're clear in your mind that the pictures we've seen circulating, they have nothing to do
with his death.
And the weekend and up to the day of his death, you're saying that the only bruise that you're aware of would have been the one from the fight at school.
Correct.
Yeah? And you say on that occasion it was two boys scuffling, but it turned into something a little bit more serious, and that's how you got involved as a mother.
Right.
Lasanta, I have to ask you this. Have you ever abused Jahan?
No.
And by abuse I mean physically hitting him, slapping him?
No, I don't have to. I just tell you he's not a child that gets trouble, so there would be no reason.
So you don't even give him
spank
lashes?
him.
Like from time to time mothers do spankings and...
No, if he does something that's wrong, I mostly punish him with time, but less TV, less time for playing, early bedtime.
Okay. And the same thing, you can swear for your... Because the other thing, you are aware that people have been saying that you are responsible for Jahan's death. You're aware of that?
Yeah.
And you know, people are also saying that either you or your partner had a hand in abusing this child. So you're saying not you. Can you also vouch for your partner not abusing Jahan?
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge. So you never saw your son. You never saw anything.
Never saw him abuse him. Nothing like that.
And Jahan never complained to
Never
you, mommy.
complained, but never.
And you never said to Jahan, don't repeat that this happened at home, anything like that.
Nothing.
Yeah.
No.
So why did your mother get it so wrong? Because she's saying that she saw abuse, and this child needed to be out of your home and handed over to her.
So why she never said, when they called her to keep him away, she never to come, never to answer.
You answer, I don't know. What do you think?
If it was abuse in the home, why not help? Why wait until he's dead now to say something about it? If it was abuse in the home, why not help from the beginning?
So she didn't help? Because she said that she was willing. She told you on more than one occasion, hand over this boy to me.
And when you call, she don't answer. First month she said she gotta go out, she gotta go work, she working nights, next thing, third thing. Many times I had asked them to keep Jahan for me, and the only person that was ever there to keep Jahan was my boyfriend. The only person, no family members, none of them will want to keep him.
And when you come home, Jahan doesn't seem withdrawn. He doesn't seem troubled.
Nothing like that.
He's still that little boy that you described at the start, that
correct.
is friendly, interactive?
Yes, because when they come home, I always greet me by the door, get with a hug. Tell me things that he do throughout the day. That's like after work morning, come home in the evening. Obviously when they work at night and come back, he'd be sleeping already.
So from your end, I'm asking you this again. There was no evidence that there was any abuse of Jahan going on?
No evidence.
Not on your end and not on your boyfriend's end?
Correct.
So you're clearing the air today that you didn't lay a finger on this child? Yeah? And that the bruises that we saw circulating had to do with a centipede, what is you said? A centipede, and then a fight at school.
Right.
So he wasn't walking around with broken arms and broken legs and broken limbs?
His hand, this is another one, was fractured.
How did this one happen? This is from the QH journal?
Right.
Accident emergency. This is June now.
Yeah.
So the first one was April, when that was the one that you said was
the
sting, as according to a medical report. And now this one is June 15, so this is just about 2 months after. His hand was fractured. Tell us how this happened.
He was getting at the bus and he slipped and he fell. His hand was swollen. We took him to the clinic. The clinic said they don't have no x-ray machine, so they have to take him straight to the hospital. So we went to the hospital. They check on the x-ray. They said nothing don't look like wrong with his hand, but they said that he's a child. Children bones don't heal like adult bones. So what they're going to do is treat it as a fractured injury. So they put on a cast on him, and as you can see, they take it off
on the 26th.
Correct.
So you had it on for about a week then?
So that you will say that 10 days.
10 days, yeah. And at that point, nobody didn't call in, no officers or the police or anything for you and say that anything looked suspicious. It was just a case where he had a fractured arm.
Right.
And you said he was getting out a bus going home? He was with you at that time when this happened?
No, he was.
Who was he with?
It was at work.
You at work?
Yeah.
So this was with your boyfriend at the time too?
Yeah.
How is he responding to these charges that people are saying that he was abusive to your son?
It's not well, because at the end of the day, he was the only person that knew say keep him, because they never knew someone to keep him. Right now he's saying he's regretting actually that he keep him.
Why would he regret it?
Because everybody pointing fingers and saying that if it's not me, it will be him. And the thing is that nobody never knew someone to help. The same people that don't want to help is the same ones that pointing the finger saying, well, that is what happened.
What is your overwhelming emotion right now? What is the biggest feeling you have right now?
Right now, I am confused, scared, because sometimes I don't even want to go home because I don't feel safe at home.
Why?
Don't feel safe at home. All kind of things circulating. People saying all kind of things. People threatening you. People breaking into the house. All
breaking into the house?
All kind of things.
So you've had break-ins
since that happened.
But you mean like people just broke into your home?
Steal the things in the house. Family members coming out the house, vandalizing the house, like pelting rocks in the house. Different things are going on.
Have you made any reports to police of these alleged incidents?
Every time something happened, we made a report.
You were held briefly for questioning by police. Well, not briefly, for several hours, we understand, last week. What was that like?
Because I don't get myself in trouble. I never make sure nothing like that. Before I never,
What did they ask you?
It was hard. It was hard. Just asking several questions, like same questions that you're asking me right now.
About whether you abused your child or not?
Yeah.
Yeah? And if you ever laid a hand on him?
Yeah.
Yeah? And how can you account for the injuries? Because police also would have seen the photographs as well.
Right.
And they also would have heard your mother's account of what happened. So, after the questioning, I guess you satisfied them in terms of your answers. But how long were you held by police? How long were you in police detention?
Actually, for the whole entire day, because we went there from morning, we left at night. Whole day it was there.
and that would have been close to the death of your son. So what about that emotion? You haven't. Tell us about that though. You're a mother. This is your only son. 6 years old. He's dead. That must be a really difficult reality to face up to. Yeah? How are you dealing with that? How are you able to deal with that?
Well, what has me is that the family, well, I think as a family, we should get together and mourn the loss of my son. But no one is actually there to give me comfort. No one is there to ask how I'm dealing with the situation, how things are going on. No, everyone is just against me, and it's really hard.
But how the difficulty in the Santa, even as I hear you and I could see that you are, really emotionally hurt and as you said confused, but why is your mother turn on you in this way as you're suggesting then? Why would a mother turn on her daughter like this? What would cause that?
She, you know, she had some money at home from the time it went missing and they spoke to her about it. It went downhill from there. She just started reacting strange, start saying different things, behaving different towards me.
And this was how long ago?
And that was like since March.
And that's when you moved out of her home too?
Right.
So we are not to believe anything that your mother said at all about this? Has she said anything that's true in your estimation?
We did meet to the church here, but not as much times as she said. And I never abused my son. Never. I love my son all my heart.
You miss him?
Yes, I do.
And you're hurt by his death?
Yes.
Is it the hardest thing you've ever had to go through?
It is actually, because, it's getting up in the morning, because he, as I tell you before, every morning he used to wake us up at 6 o'clock, getting up in the morning, looking at the bedroom, seeing the clothes, seeing the things, memories just flashing back. It's really hard. At night, sometimes at night, I don't sleep. I had to go to the doctor to get tablets, sleeping pills. Sometimes I don't even know if I take them because I don't know.
If you could say anything to your mother at this stage, what would you tell her?
I just want her to just come together as a family. Not for me. It's not for me. It's for Jahan. Let Jahan rest in peace. Come together as a family.
What would you say to Jahan's foster mother? She's another person that says, his father, who's overseas, incarcerated, what would you say to Jahan's father?
But John, he knows me. He knows the kind of mother I was to his son. He knows that I would never hurt my son or put him in harm's way. He knows that.
In fact, Ina Brown, she did say it to us yesterday. She said that when you were living by her, you were always kind to Jahan. So she said she wouldn't know what happened to make you change. So she did suggest that, So what would you say to her? And why haven't you been in touch with her? Because she was hurt over the fact that you didn't even call her for a sign to tell her that Jahan had passed.
Because I called my mother from the time I called her, everything just went haywire. I didn't get a chance to call nobody. Everybody was just calling me, pointing fingers at me, blaming me. No one took the time to sit down and ask what really happened.
Tomorrow is autopsy. You have to go there.
Yeah.
You're ready to do that?
Well, it's something that I have to do. I have to go through it.
People, you also don't know, there's still a whole process that's going through with this. How would you say the child care board authorities were in this entire process? Were they supportive? Were they helpful? Because your mother again is blaming them
Yeah.
for Jahan's death.
They,
How were they to you?
they spoke to me as professional as they could. Because the lady, she even sent me to the doctor to bring back medical report. So if my son was in any harm,
You were taking
we
it.
were taking him at the same time.
And you were seeing child care board from when? From when?
That was on, in April.
In April.
Right.
So how many visits did you see?
Twice.
Just twice?
Yes.
Okay. So only 2 visits since
Only
April.
2 visits, right.
And you satisfied them by giving them the records
Correct.
that you had. Have they come back to you since he died?
No.
No? Okay. And so you felt from your standpoint that they are not to blame for anything
Right.
around here? No? Okay. Where do you go from here? What is next? I mean, we have the autopsy, as I say, tomorrow. Yeah? How has your work mates been? Have you had support at work or?
Yeah. Because
Yeah?
they call me to see how I'm doing. They always check it on me. To me, if they want anything, they could call.
So you've taken time away from work?
Yeah.
Okay, so they've been supportive in terms of giving you the time away from work as well.
Yeah.
And your superiors have called you from work too to see what you're doing?
To see, yeah. So
Okay. And you don't feel as though they're questioning you either. You feel as though they have.
they're just there to see him, to comfort.
How are you getting through this? Because you're saying you don't have the support of family. How are you getting through this on a day-to-day basis?
I try my best. It's very hard actually. Very, very hard. Sometimes when I get up in the morning, I don't even know what to do, where to go, who to turn to, who to trust. I don't know. Because you're hearing every minute somebody calling and saying they're hearing this, they're seeing this, and nobody is just taking the time to ask what really happened.
So you're talking directly to Barbados now. What would you want to say? We've said what you want to say to your mom, to Jahan's dad. What would you say to the people of Barbados right now in terms of your situation? What do you want them to most know right now?
When they see the situation, before they jump to conclusions, to try to find out what actually happened. Before you point fingers at anybody, you should actually find out what happened.
Some would say that you took long though to come out. It was last week, and this has been going on, and you've been hearing. Why didn't you speak immediately?
So nobody contacted me immediately. Contacted my mother first. Actually, or she maybe contact them first. And everybody was just listening to her. No one took the chance to listen to me.
Actually, we were trying to find you, but it wasn't as easy. Yeah? So you're saying you were always willing to tell your story? All right. I'm going to wrap up now, but at this stage, as I said, the autopsy is due tomorrow. You don't have any qualms about that from your standpoint. You think you're innocent. You haven't done anything
to hurt my son.
to hurt your son. But you're very devastated by the loss of your son.
Yeah.
Are there any arrangements made in terms of funeral? Have you started to think about anything like that?
They started to make plans, but
You know when? You can tell us anything about that, like what you want to do for him in terms of a send-off?
no, not as yet.
Not as yet. Well, I want to say, Lasanta, thank you for telling us your side. I know it's a difficult period, but I hope the God's help you get through this. I know you've also been speaking to Pastor Durant, yeah?
Yeah.
What has been his advice to you?
To seek counseling, go to God for help.
Okay. I think that's very, very good advice. I think you should follow that, yeah? When all of humanity fails, God will not fail you, yeah? So thanks again, and stay brave, yeah? Thank you.